Well, this is what a person looks like after spending 4 hours with the wire brush on the 4-inch grinder, cleaning a chassis, the front part of a chassis. So let's go see what the chassis looks like. Okay, well, like I said, this is the result of about 4 hours on that grinder. That grinder right there. And the knotted wire wheel. Tiny bit of scraping, not much, mostly wire brush today. The scraping I did the last time I was out here. But does a pretty nice job. It's tedious. And I'm sure it's a little dangerous. Put the face mask on, put gloves on, put the handle on the grinder this time, because that makes it much more controllable. But you can see it's coming out pretty clean. Coming out pretty clean. And I've got this section from the firewall, actually from those transmission mounts back there, forward, is clean with the wire wheel. As much as I can get everywhere with the wire wheel. I mean, I can't get down into spots like that. And those I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to treat with probably some solvent to get any grease off that's in there. Maybe run a, what do you call, some easy off in there. And then power wash it, or maybe just wipe it dry. Just to get in those areas, to try and get all the grease out at least, so it's the paint sticks. And then obviously I have that much of the firewall left to clean. Then we can start filling holes we don't want anymore, like that one right there where the wiper motor used to stick through. And a lot of these, like here I think, and here, no, not there, here. Here, these are for those little plastic buttons that hold the firewall pad, the heat pad or sound pad, whatever you call that thing that goes on the inside of the firewall. We're going to do that different. We're going to weld some fasteners on those that stick in, studs that stick in. And we'll put a nut and a fender washer or a finishing washer or something on the inside, so you won't see anything on this side. But anyway, that's some decent progress, I guess. So underneath, you notice the floor here too. I mean, I swept this yesterday, so this was clean this morning. Well, I didn't start this morning. This is clean when I started today. Let's be accurate. Okay. Anyway, forgot where I was going. Oh, underneath. There's a whole bunch more of this. I think this probably got undercoated when it was new. I know that was a real common. My dad, every time he bought a new car, absolutely paid for and bought the undercoating. It was a dealer installed option you could buy for like $50. And even though we were in San Francisco Bay Area where nothing rots, he always had it done. He always did it because it protected the bottom of the car. And I think that was done on this one because there's a layer of oil and grease kind of stuff, but it's pretty sticky. It's almost like a bed liner or something, the way it comes off. It comes off pretty easy, but it isn't going to wash off. I'm going to have to scrape it and wire brush it, I think, too. Anyway, so much for that. That's our progress right now. Today is, Monday, the 5th, I believe, of March. Good morning. Here we are, it's Wednesday, the 22nd, I believe, of March, and we haven't made a whole lot of progress on the 57, been busy doing all kinds of other stuff. I think you saw this already, got the front part of the frame cleaned up. I did find that I can clean this pretty easy, looks like by scraping the oily, dirty, dusty residue off of it, and then using a Scotch-Brite with some solvent in it. That looks like it cleans pretty good. I'm not sure the frame's going to work that good, but for sure the
the floor will. Anyway, so I haven't gotten much further on that.
I've been busy doing all kinds of other stuff on the rentals and everything else. I did get these yesterday afternoon. I did get these ready to be reused. These are only got probably less than 300 miles on them since they were installed on the car. And the pipes were welded to them. I cut them off, but you can see I cut them right where the pipe entered the muffler. So yesterday I spent some time getting those pipes out of there. So they're ready to get reused, so I can store them for the time being. And when it's time, we'll make our own exhaust system and be able to reuse those. So that's it for now. Isn't much of an update, but I got the workbench clean yesterday. I mean, because that turned into a terrible mess, and you can see I'm doing a real good job of making that all dirty. But you know, the cleaning part's no fun. It's not something to look forward to, but it's got to get done. And like I said, in the meantime, all kinds of other stuff turns up. You can see out here. That's some of the other stuff. We're going to spread that up on the hill in the back, keep the weeds down. And that came from another project over on one of the rentals. I cut a tree down, so, you know, it's all got to get done. And there's only one person doing it, or arranging it, even if not doing it. But that's the way it goes. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching, as always. Bye.
Hello, folks. It's Friday, Good Friday, the 30th of March. Happy Easter, everyone. So I'm going to do one more little segment here and put a video up about my progress on this thing. You saw all of this already in the last segment that I filmed. I haven't posted it yet, but you saw all of this part already. And since then, what I've been doing is working under the floor. Fun, fun, fun. There isn't a whole lot of light under here, and I forgot to set one up. So we're going to do the best we can, I guess, for now and see what it looks like. Okay, so anyway, you can see all of this is done. What I've done here is scraped all the road grime off of it, and use a Scotch-Brite and some solvent, a purple Scotch-Brite and some solvent. So you can see here what I've done is scrape through they had a light coat of paint on it, and then it had undercoating. From, I guess, when it was born. So like I say, you scrape the road grime off, and obviously you scrape some of the paint off. I did a lot of it with a plastic putty knife, but then the edge on the plastic putty knife goes away and that quits working. You can see the inside of the rocker panel here. Pretty clean. At least 2 segments are clean. I got to do 2 more. This side, I've got the whole side clean. You can see up in there. That side, the whole side is clean. Like I say, this is, you can imagine, a real fun chore. And like I said, since it was undercoated, this area up in here, I guess there's a lot of seams there, and that must really be subject to rust in a lot of places. So they put it on fairly thick in there, and what I had to do to get it off, the undercoating I'm talking about, what I had to do to get it off is use a heat gun and an old chisel. That was like a 3/4 inch chisel that was sharpened on like a disc sander, you know, just sharp enough to get an edge on it. And when you soften the undercoating, it comes off fairly easy. You see there's a lot of unusual shapes there, so it doesn't come off too easy. But then afterwards, you go over it with the wire wheel on the grinder, that knotted wire wheel I showed you. And you see it comes pretty good. So this is good enough to paint. I mean, I'm not doing a frame-off restoration, obviously. I'm trying to, you know, establish a limit somewhere, because I could have this thing completely apart if I wanted to, you know, let it go there. And I'm not letting it go there. I mean, started out with a nice driver. I'm just updating it and making it a little nicer, you might say. You heard it all already. The 4-speed, the disc brakes, wiring, all that good stuff. So you can see where I'm at here is, here. I'm at a little past the back of the door. Right about where the frame kicks up, right. There is where I'm at. You see, it's just past the back of the door.
about maybe a foot past the back of the door. Anyway, that's where we're at. I know it's been real slow. Been busy doing all kinds of other stuff. I'll see if I can put a picture or two up. We've got a garden center, or we have a plot over at the garden center, the 16 by 20. I've been turning that and putting soil amendments. Like I said, I'll post a picture, a still picture, so you can see what that amounts to. I mean, doing that, I've been treating that like physical therapy, doing that and doing this and taking care of the chickens. Had my second post-op appointment this week, and all the restrictions as far as lifting and twisting and bending and all that stuff is off. So I go another, I think, 3 months or 4 months to another one. So they said most of the time, like, I'm feeling a little sore right now because I'm being more active, and the bone graft between the two discs where the two vertebrae where they remove the disc is growing together, so it's a little tender still. And there is some movement there, and obviously it gets a little sore when I move around a lot, but that's the healing process. So I can start some physical therapy soon, and although this is physical therapy in my mind. So anyway, it's all moving forward. You know, we're at the end of the third month of 2018 already. Before you know it, we'll be doing Christmas again, but hopefully this will start moving a little faster. This is the slow, tedious stuff that nobody likes, but you got to get past it. So we're trying to get past it. Anyway, talk to you later. Again, happy Easter, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.